Matt Gaetz is having an absolute meltdown over the fact that the House Ethics Committee voted this week to finally release that long-awaited ethics report about Matt Gaetz and his extracurricular activities. Matt Gaetz, trying to get ahead of the damaging information that is about to come out, took to social media, where he not only tried to explain away all of the things we're going to see, but also to issue a threat against the entire Republican Party. Here is what Matt Gaetz had to say. House Ethics will reportedly post a report online that I have no opportunity to debate or rebut as a former member of the body. In my single days, I often sent funds to women I dated, even some I never dated, but who asked. I dated several of these women for years. I never had sexual contact with someone under 18. Any claim that I have would be destroyed in court, which is why no such claim was ever made in court. It's embarrassing, though not criminal, that I probably partied, womanized, drank, and smoked more than I should have earlier in life. I live a different life now. Now he continues, but let's go ahead and, clear the air on some of this right now. I'm sure we all know that Matt Gaetz, when he first came to Congress, which, is the time we're talking about here, he's a little heavy set. He was a partier, obviously. He still had that frat boy mentality. Maybe he still does, maybe he doesn't. Don't know, because I don't know him personally. But you do look like, or at least you did look like, the kind of guy that would absolutely have to pay women to date him. And by the way, if you have to pay women to date you, that's not dating. There's a word for what that kind of really is when you pay a woman for her company. Sounds like you were hiring escorts, bud. But, I've dated women, never had to pay any of them. Never had to say like, hey, thanks for going out with me. Here's a 50. That never happened. So, that's not something that normal people have to do. We don't have to pay other people to spend time with us. They do it because they enjoy our company, not because they're going to get paid. So that alone, bud, speaks volumes about how grotesque you are, that you had to pay women to stay around you. But he continued, I was charged with nothing, fully exonerated. Not even a campaign finance violation, and the people investigating me hated me. Also, stop right there before we get to the threat part. You are, in fact, not fully exonerated. A full exoneration would be if they came out and said, hey, he did nothing wrong. All they said was that we're not going to criminally charge him. They did not exonerate you. They did not say that there was not enough evidence. They just made a weird decision to not charge you. You're only fully exonerated if you go to court and are proven innocent. That is what exoneration means. So to claim otherwise is, of course, a misuse of legal terms designed to confuse the people you're trying to confuse. You were not fully exonerated, you just weren't criminally charged. But then he gets to the threat of it all. Someone suggested the following plan to me. Number 1, show up January 3rd, 2025 to Congress. Number 2, participate in speaker election. I was elected to the 119th Congress after all. Number 3, take the oath. Number 4, file a privilege motion to expose every Me Too settlement paid using public funds, even of former members. And then number 5, resign and start my One America News program at 9 p.m. Eastern on January 6, 2025. I don't want Matt Gaetz to be back in Congress, but I'm going to tell you, I kind of like the plan. I gotta give Matt Gaetz credit. I don't know if someone actually told him that or if his evil brain is just thinking it, but do it. Like 100%, I'm on board. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. If there are members of Congress that are using taxpayer funds, if they're using if they're using any funds to quietly settle Me Too lawsuits, the public needs to know about that. So Matt, if you do in fact have that information, let it fly, bud. In fact, to be honest, you don't even have to be back in Congress to do that. If you know that these things happened and of course can prove it, you can just do it. You can get on your podcast and do it. You could just make a quick YouTube video doing it. You could do it on the air on Fox or One America or Newsmax, or hell, give me a call. We live not far from each other, by the way. Pop into the studio. We'll do it together. We'll have a grand old time. But this threat to go nuclear, essentially on the Republican Party, is the exact same threat that Marjorie Taylor Greene made when Congress was first deciding whether or not to release the Matt Gaetz report. Remember, Marjorie Taylor Greene said, if they do this, I'm going to expose all of their criminal deeds, all of these people. I know things, I've seen things, whatever it was. So, according to Greene and Gaetz, there may be a lot of criminals, or at least scumbags, walking around the halls of the Capitol at any given moment. And again, totally nonpartisan here, like, we kind of need to know these things, right? These are people that keep getting voted back into office, and if they're doing unsavory things that could destroy their career for good reason, then we, the voters, do need to know about that. Like, we absolutely have a right to know what these people are doing. So Greene and Gaetz and whoever else wants to join in with them, y'all actually have the potential here, if you're telling the truth, which I think is a giant if. But if you are telling the truth, you have the potential to possibly be heroes for a few moments, right? Expose the corruption. Isn't that what you guys were supposed to be all about? Because if you do have this information and you're not coming forward with it, keep in mind, if it's criminal activity, then you could be a party to a felony. But if it's just covering up scumbaggery, then you're just as complacent with it as the lawmakers who allegedly did it. Did you know that you might be missing out on wonderful content from me? I mean, you're here already because clearly you like what you see. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video, share them with your friends and family, but also follow me across the rest of the social media world. And it's not that hard to do. Whether it's X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, on every one of those platforms, you can find me at the username @FarronBalanced. Simple enough, right? So get on it. And if you don't feel like going to each one of those outlets individually, lucky for you, we have links in the description of this video to take you right to my pages across all of social media. So don't miss a minute. And while you're at it, make sure you're also subscribed to the Ring of Fire YouTube channel, which I have been hosting for many, many years now. We've got more than 1 million subscribers over there, and there is fresh content over there every single day of the week. So again, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to this channel, and while you're at it, go subscribe to Ring of Fire at youtube.com/The Ring of Fire and @FarronBalanced across every social media platform that, of course, is not considered just a far-right hellscape. Well, maybe Twitter is, but that's a story for a different day.